when should you start emailing college coaches? To put it simply, the sooner the better. There is no restriction as to when a student athlete can email a college coach. There are restrictions in terms of college coaches emailing student athletes or the type of contact they can have, but there's no limitation to when a student athlete can email a college coach.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's really not going to hurt a student athlete to start emailing a coach earlier. There definitely are times where maybe you're not quite ready to be sending out your information to a college coach. I mean, maybe you haven't played at a competitive level, you haven't played varsity. There's a few different things that we can talk through when it comes to that and one-off situations, but more often than not, the earlier, the more often that you email college coaches and email a wide array of college coaches as well, the better off you're going to be in just having brand recognition and being someone that they recognize your name because they've seen your email, 2-3 times a year or several times over the course of 6 months, over the course of 4 years. They're going to know who you are.
Right.
And if you just start emailing them senior year, maybe they're not even looking for that class anymore. So the earlier the better, the more often the better, obviously with some limitations as well.
Yeah, and college coaches, again, they're evaluating kids freshman, sophomore year, right? They don't just wait till junior year when they can start maybe having some more personal contact and say, all right, what juniors are we going to start recruiting? They're building that list for freshmen. They're building that list for sophomore. So again, you can do the things you need to do to get yourself on that coach's radar, and that's why our emailing is so important. But again, that's really going to be the value of starting the process earlier, is that you don't want to try to crack a list your junior or senior year that's already been established of 50 kids. You want to try to crack that list early and then have that coach follow your progression throughout the next couple of years. Again, that's where the NCSA profile comes into play, because you can email coaches through that profile, and then the coaches are able to follow your progress, follow your profile, follow your information. You're able to see some of that information. I think it does depend on the student athlete,
Sure.
right? If you're a 5'3" freshman boys point guard who is back up on the freshman team and hasn't played any AAU basketball, probably not the right time to start emailing college coaches. So I think you're going to have to determine, based on your student athlete, their skill level, their commitment, their experience, when that time is. But again, in general, the sooner the better.
Yeah, and just to kind of build off of that, if you're questioning it, maybe you're not sure if your student athlete is good enough to be seen right now, that may be the case. I think that was a pretty good example you used just now. But in the same right, if there's someone who wants to play at the collegiate level and they are playing at a high level, they're playing travel ball, they're playing club, they're they're starting in high school, that's a good time to start getting on those coaches' radar. They're not looking for a finished product as a freshman in high school. They're looking to see someone who's going to develop over the next 3-4 years. So again, use your judgment, talk with your coaches, but it's never going to really harm you at the end of the day to start early. Coaches aren't necessarily going to write a student athlete off because they see their freshman video and say, well, he's never going to be good enough.
Right.
That's not necessarily the case.
A little insider tip here, the typical best time of day to email a college coach, our data suggests it's between 4 and 8 p.m. Tuesdays through Sundays. So 4 to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday, based on our data, is typically the best time of day to send that email to a college coach.